Hey guys, and welcome to part 4 of making a MailThis.To clone. On this part we are going to create a GitHub repository for our code, and we are going to start doing the logic for the software. Let's create our GitHub repository. So GitHub, sign in. Let's create a new repository and forward me this like so. We just leave everything empty. Create. Perfect. So, and we go to this folder. So, and actually we add this now, and we add git add this. Oh, evolutions, we'll leave these out as well. I'll add these two. Notice that I'm leaving out the application.conf. That's by design. These two files, I also add those in. Add and public. Add this folder. Git ignore and build. Add and tests, although I haven't done much with them until this point. Let's add them as well. Add. And let's add this in. So first push, commit and push. Log in. And perfect. Here we go. Yeah, so we haven't, well, I didn't add that application.configuration file, and that's by design, and I'll explain to you why right now. So project. In this configuration file, I have all my configurations, and I don't want to expose these configurations because like this username and this password, I could be using something that's local and that's really personal to me. So what I'll do is I'll create a new file like this, which I'm going to call local. I'm not going to add it. And now this, I'm going to say db username and db password, like so. And the rest of these configurations are all okay. So now I'm I'm editing this in the wrong place. So let's copy this over to this side and copy this to this side. So application.conf, I can now add it. Add, and I'm also going to add this SQL, although it's going to change a lot of times. It's not important right now. I'll just add it and sample file and evolution SQL, commit and push. Here we go. Good. So now we need to start using this application local conf instead of the other one that we were using. So edit configurations. Let's see how that is done actually. Configuration file. Specifying alternative configuration file. Conf config file. Okay. So -d configuration file equals application local.conf. Let's see if this is enough. Let's give it a run.
One eternity later.
It can't be found, so let's see if using this one will make it any difference to it. So add configurations, resources, I think. Apply. Okay. Let's rerun this.
One eternity later.
Now much better. So okay, so from now on we'll use application local conf file to specify our local configurations while developing. And while we are doing changes here and adding more features, we also need to remind ourselves to add those configurations to the applications.conf so that it can be used as a template. So let's close this, routes as well, and build SBT. Yeah, let's close this and let's stop the server. Okay, so to start implementing, let's give it a look at the diagram again. So we've got the valid email address done. Correct. Now we do a check to see if the email address is on the DB. Okay. We could actually structure this in a lot of different ways, but we'll just do it like this. So email address. So, and we are going to create a method called find by email address, like so, or even better, exists by email address. So create method, it's going to return a boolean like so, and we are going to use a finder, this, and it's a long because this is the key, long, and the type that we want this to return, to act upon, which is the email address. So finder new, and we the same thing over here, email address dot class, like so. And we are going to make this private and static as well, or else we wouldn't be able to use it over here. So now we say finder query where equals email address and string input email address, this exists. Let's just check this to see what happens, or what this method does. Perfect. So this is good. So return. Let me just break this a little bit so that it becomes a little bit more readable once we need to come over here and modify it for some reason. So like this, and we pass the email address. So if it exists, let's check the diagram. We check to see if it is confirmed. So okay. Else, and if it doesn't exist, we create the email address. Okay. So if it doesn't exist, okay, so what do we want to implement first? The email confirmed or the create email address entry? Okay, email confirmed. Okay, let's check this. If email address is confirmed by email address, and we pass the email address again, else, and let's create this method. we basically do the same thing. Let's just modify this input, and we say that it also needs to be equal and email confirmed. This needs to be true. Okay, so if the email address exists on the database and the email address is confirmed, we send the email. We don't have yet a structure to send emails, so I'll just create a comment over here. To do send email. Now, if the email is not confirmed, we store the email. So to do store email. And in both these cases, we show a success page if we manage to do these things. So to do show success page, this, like this. If the email address does not exist on the database, we create an email address entry. So let's go and do that now. Else. So email address, create new address, and we pass on the email address like this. We might as well save this entity over here. Email address entity like this. So create, and we say email address new email address equals new address dot address equals, in fact, let's use the same name. Email confirmed, it's going to be false, so because when we create it, the normal state is going to be false, and that's all we need for the time being. So email address dot save, and we return the new email address. Oh, like so. Perfect. We could actually even inside this same method do the storage of the email address, so we might do that. So store email and send address confirmation. Let me write this down. Store email. So to do store email, as we need to do in the other case that we have up here. To do send confirmation email.